Hello, party people. How are we all doing this beautiful Friday evening? What's this comment? Figment looks a lot like Spyro the Dragon. I agree. And you know what's crazy is I still haven't finished that art or the art of Lady and the Tramp, the little present box. It's been months. I still haven't finished either of those. Maybe that's a job for next stream or the stream after. I really need to finish that so that graphic's actually done because I want to animate some of the elements so they wiggled the letters and stuff like that, but that's a problem for later me. Right now me has got a Donkey Kong to finish and a Moo Moo Meadows cow, which I did add a rough background like I said I would, but I did it like 10 minutes before stream and not during the week like I was supposed to. And I also added a rough draft of the letters on DK's tie, which we're going to fix up right here. I'm hoping to get these two done at the top of the stream, and then I can do some kind of improving, just loosey-goosey sketching, some hybrid animals like I did with the bat hybrid otter sketches I did a couple streams ago. Because people seem to like that, and I like doing it as well. I like just coming up with stuff on the fly like that with just a generic prompt. So hoping to work in some time for that tonight. But for right now, let's work on DK. I'm going to clean these letters up. Let's get rid of this pink layer. I don't know what I was doing. Let's do green so I can see what I'm doing. And then we'll change it to yellow. I guess I could just do yellow, but since I faded it, but that's alright. And it doesn't have to be perfect, I just want it to look somewhat cleaner than the sketch I did underneath. Just a little bit more cleaned up. And then Donkey Kong is going to come together really fast because got the flat colors done. I'm just going to add in a bit of texture really and then call it a day. And I changed the background color to a dark green because I thought that fit more. Might add some grungy texture or something interesting back there as well. And for Moo Moo Meadows cow, I did end up doing the Mario Kart 8 version of Moo Moo Meadows for the background, even though I think in the promo image that I'm using for reference of the Moo Moo Meadows cow, it's not Moo Moo Meadows at all in the background. It's like Peach Raceway or one of the many other tracks in Mario Kart. But I thought it was more fitting to do Moo Moo Meadows for the Moo Moo Meadows cow. Plus, I like the color scheme a lot of the Mario Kart 8 one, specifically with like the dusty pink sky. I think that looks nice against all the blues and grays I'm using for the cow. So it made sense to me to do that. And then I'll just use the awful fill tool that Procreate has that doesn't quite work, but works okay. This. Oh, that wasn't too bad, actually. I was talking all this crap about it. It worked okay, but sometimes it's a real mess, even with the color dropper set to the max. Sometimes it's really hard to clean up, but that wasn't too bad. Not painful. There we go. I think that works, and then we'll delete the rough layer. We'll alpha lock this and pick a nice bright yellow. Actually, let me get the rough out. It's almost orange, the yellow that they use. Like that. We'll get a nice big brush and we'll do that. Beautiful. From afar, that looks okay. I might need to make the red a little bit bigger. I'm gonna, ooh, not that. I'm gonna make the outlines just a tad thicker on the outside. Hello, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. It is not a very exciting Friday evening after this, unlike last week. I went to karaoke last Friday after stream. And it was fine. I got my one song in. I got some overpriced drinks in me, you know. Let's see. Oh, you're in a car? Yeah. Yeah, take care. Be safe. I got my one song in, and then, you know, you go by yourself to a bar. Sometimes the men at the bar are a little creepy and weird. So you go home a little early. So I ended up going home early. I got my one song in, but, you know, like, it's a good spot for karaoke. I might go again in the future, but it was so crowded because it was in the back of this, like, pub. It was very crowded and hot there, and I don't know. And I liked that. So, like, here's a positive, right? I liked that the KJ, the karaoke jockey, I like that they prohibit people from doing multiple songs, because a lot of times you'll go to karaoke and there'll be like 2 or 3 karaoke tryhards like me who are going to queue up like 2 to 3 different songs, and other people's stuff will be spaced in, so it's not back to back. It's not that obnoxious, but it'll be like singer 1, 2 or 3 random people, and then singer 1 does another song, and then whatever. You hear the same people go like 3 times a night. This guy was just like straight up banning, like, you get one song until everybody's done theirs, and then you get another, you know. So I liked that. I thought that was fair. However, he was terrible at operating the volume, because what you're supposed to do, you start off like skeptical, right? You have it so that the actual song is playing pretty loudly and you can only kind of hear the singer, but it makes like timid or first time karaoke goers feel a little bit more confident in themselves, and also it reduces the amount of annoyance it is for the regular bar goers, because it's not only a karaoke bar, it's like there's regular people conversing and drinking in the front, right? So people who are going to screech or be obnoxious, like, you turn their mic down first, and then if they're singing okay or they're not being obnoxious, you turn that mic up so that they can actually hear themselves sing and other people can hear them sing, because that's the point of karaoke, is you're hearing regular people sing. They don't have to be the best singer in the world. You know, it's karaoke, it's not an audition. But you should be able to hear yourself sing, and other people should be able to hear you. Anyway, this guy had the mic on so quiet for everyone, not just me, but like everyone. You could barely hear people sing at all. It was kind of like you're just listening to the song at that point and like singing along with it at home. It was not the best like mixing or whatever, but crank that mic up a little. Like, it's karaoke. I want to hear regular people sing. That's the fun of it. So, like, I might go again, but the KJ's got to crank that mic up, because it kind of took the fun out of it. And I'm singing loudly. I'm a loud singer. I can barely hear myself. The music is just like drowning me out. I don't even know if the mic's picking me up. And it took me out of it. As somebody who's been to a lot of karaoke, it was just kind of like, whoa. Not a lot of people today. I mean, not a lot. Yeah, not a lot of people tonight. That's all right. I didn't advertise, and I am working on stuff that I've been working on for the last couple streams instead of doing requests. So that always tends to, what is this a clipping mask of? Oh, I guess I gotta paint here. That tends to draw a slightly smaller audience, but that's okay. I gotta finish these pieces anyway, so I'll finish some whether people are here or not. So, and hello, welcome to the chat. How you doing this fine evening? And if I get these done and there's like 1 or 2 people watching, I can just call it early and I'll do a whole stream of just improv hybrid creatures next week. It's really no big deal. Alright, so all these elements are correctly colored, right? And they're all alpha locked. I think I can go ahead and add some texture and we can wrap up Donkey Kong pretty quickly. One thing I wanted to try is the Stickman brush, which is my favorite way to add a little bit of hue and texture. But I don't know if I like the pinks and yellows it's kind of coming up with here, so what I might do is a clipping mask layer and then like reduce the opacity. Because I love the texture that this adds, and I like the hue variation, but I'm not crazy about all the pink necessarily. I like the yellow and the orange, like peachy tones, but so I'm just kind of running it around until I get more yellow, because it's random, so you just gotta pull the handle on the slot machine a few times. I think that looks okay, but I want to mess with the opacity and stuff. See if I can get anything interesting going, because I like that bit of grit it adds. Let's say you have a fear of singing in front of people and you love to sing, you just fear people judging your singing voice. That's the fun of karaoke is, I always tell people, it's not an audition, it's karaoke. If anybody's giving you trouble for how you sing at karaoke, they're missing the point of karaoke, because it's fun. It's fun. You sing like you're singing in your car or in your shower or whatever. It's so much fun, but I understand people are scared of it. It's like public speaking or anything else. It's kind of intimidating unless you do it somewhat frequently, or you're just somebody who doesn't have a fear of it in the first place. I've just never been afraid of karaoke. I don't know. You go, you have like a drink or two if you're a drinker. If not, you just kind of sit there and observe. And inevitably, somebody's going to get up there and just like wail and shriek into the microphone and make a fool of themselves. And then it makes you a little bit more at ease. Like, okay, I'm not the first one singing. I'm not the worst one singing. I'm not the loudest one singing. It's going to be just fine. And 99 out of 100 people are either just waiting for their turn to sing or they're busy drinking or eating or talking with their people anyway. So, you know, nobody's really paying attention to you unless you're like really killing it or you're making a scene. So, it's not too bad. I really enjoy it though. I do it for my own enjoyment. Most people aren't even paying attention to me. I'm just doing it for fun. There's a couple songs I do really well and people pay attention, but for the most part, people aren't. They're not paying attention to me. It's fine. Doing it for me. Hello, how you doing this evening? Though I was a little bummed I only got my one song in. I do like to do 2 or 3 songs in a night if I can, but it was really busy and the KJ had his rules about not queuing up multiple songs, so that's alright. What layer is this cute? Oh, this is tied to this, so that'll be different. We're just gonna go in on this. Ooh, I like that purple tone. I like that. Though I think I made a mistake of... No, this is on its own layer. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So I can just mess with the opacity of that. What did I do for this layer? Let's roll it back. Just set to normal. 48. Okay, we'll do that. Normal. Let me get a little bit higher in this one. Yeah, just a little bit of texture in there, a little bit of color variety. I like that. Though I am going to take it just a smidge darker in the inner eye by just erasing a little bit of it. If it'll let me. Where is this? Oh, this is the wrong layer. Oops. Here we go. Just darken it up around the eyes a little bit. There we go. That looks good. Singing on your next stream. Yeah, tip the lady and she'll sing. Nah. No. I have to sing very loud when I sing. So I think it would like blow out the mic or something. I'd have to like sit back here and yell. I wouldn't want to blow anybody's eardrums out. I'd be watching the audio input like a hawk to make sure it's not clipping into the red. I sing very loud. Yeah, so how's everyone's day been? That's a great question. My day's going fine. I had a nice long luxurious nap. I got the bare minimum amount of work done that I needed to do today for clients. What else did I do? I organized all my clothes. I'm on my minimalist kick of reducing all the clothes I have in the world. Got another bag full of stuff to donate or take to the resale store. So my scheme is I take it to the resale store. I either get store credit if there's something good looking in the store that I want to buy, or I'll get their pathetic amount of cash back. They'll give me like $10. And whatever they don't want because it's not cool and hip enough, I just take it next door to the place that just takes clothes donations. So it's getting out of the house either way. But that was my thrilling day today. These are the things I get excited about as a woman who's 35 going on 75, you know? These are the things that just light me up anymore. Let's clipping mask this, and we're going to do the same treatment with adding the stickman texture. And I don't think I'm going to add... Oh, this is going to be tricky. I don't think I want to add too much other texture, shadows, etc. on top of this. I like where this is going. I don't like the yellow, though, so much. Yeah, kind of peachy. So we'll alpha lock this, and then we'll go and erase this carefully. This is a trickier one, because it's clipped to the whole head shape, rather than just the snout. So I actually have to do a little bit of work. Let's see. How do you choose music for your live stream? Literally, I just, I found like a royalty-free playlist of Animal Crossing music on Spotify. So how I run music on OBS, it's kind of a janky setup. It's not like how you're supposed to set up music for your streams where it's like embedded and saved to your computer and whatnot. I just have a separate window open running a Spotify web player with that playlist on loop. And I have it on OBS set to like window capture, and it captures the audio from that window. It looks like the audio is really, really low on my end. Let me know if you hear the background music, because sometimes I do put it just a tad low. I always worry I'm going to start playing my actual music on accident. It'll start auto-playing like copyrighted stuff, but I think it's still going. Oh, there's the Donkey Kong reference. Nice. 200 songs. Yeah, it's the hardest thing is finding copyright-free music that isn't terrible. That's really the struggle. But I think the Animal Crossing soundtrack fits the whole vibe. Obviously, most people who follow me on YouTube know me from Animal Crossing content, so it works for me. And anything that's a cover, yeah, Animal Crossing music is very calming. Though I've noticed a lot of YouTubers use Animal Crossing soundtrack music without it being a cover necessarily, and don't seem to ever get copyright striked. Like my old videos, I would just use straight up the soundtrack from the game. And people don't tend to get copyright strikes for that. However, I'm like wary that like one day they're finally gonna put the hammer down on everyone using Animal Crossing music. So I use the cover versions, even though these streams don't make money anyway, but just the idea that like hundreds of hours of streams would get muted because Nintendo decided like enforcing their copyright. I don't want to mess with it, so search for like instrumental covers of game soundtracks that you like. A lot of that stuff is on Spotify or tagged as like lo-fi, royalty free, etc., etc. There's all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. It is a tad low. Is it too high now? I cranked it up a little bit and now it's kind of like, all right, it's at negative 40 decibels. It should be in the sweet spot right now. Let me know if it's too high or low. I think this is where it's supposed to be. Yeah, exactly. Knowing Nintendo's streak with copyright, I'm shocked they haven't claimed a piece of that pie yet, because there's like big YouTubers who make videos that get millions of views that are just straight up using Nintendo music in their videos. And nobody seems to care. It's just kind of like a thing people do and don't talk about. But one of these days they're going to come collect. And it won't be pretty. Is that supposed to be an ear? What is this? I was looking at this before stream in the thumbnail. This chunk of... I think it's an ear. So we're going to fix that really quick. Where is it? First of all, we're going to erase a little bit of this. And then we're going to make that more obviously an ear by just coloring it a different color. Whoa, not like that. Actually, I kind of like the purple it went with, so we're just going to do that. Okay, that makes it a little bit more obvious that it's an ear, but whatever. And then this layer, Gonna lower the opacity a bit, like that. And I kind of want to soften the texture in the middle a little bit by erasing it just a smidge. Like just, is this the right layer? No, it's not, okay. Just erase a little bit of the texture, soften it up a little bit, but keep some on the edges. That looks cool to me. Anyone seen what happened with Pal World? Oh yeah, did Nintendo ever end up suing those guys? I haven't kept up with it since the original brouhaha. You're creating a playlist? Nice. Yeah, as long as everything on the playlist is royalty free, you can play all kinds of stuff on stream. That's my advice, is royalty free versions of video game soundtracks is my recommendation. Because a lot of that was the worst thing ever about making YouTube videos, no joke, was like coming up with the idea was fun, writing the script was fun, putting the footage together was fun, editing it was fun, finding music that was tonally appropriate that didn't sound like music you'd see on like a car commercial or something, like horrible, like nothing was the vibe. I ended up using the same 2 to 3 songs for every video. Like I understand why YouTubers just use Animal Crossing music in the same 2 to 3 songs. I totally get it. Because everything just sounds terrible. Just did not match the vibe at all. I understand. Whoa, that's way too big of a brush. I did kind of like the squares it was making, but... Big chunky fur chunks. I don't like the green as much. I like the purples though. Give me more of those. Ooh, I like that. The shapes of that. What's gonna be tricky though is blending it in with the other chunk of the arm, but I think it'll look okay. And then we're gonna do the same to this part of the arm. Oh, that won't look so bad. Just get a little bit, ooh, yep, get a little bit of that yellow in here. I said yellow. Okay, that looks alright. It actually is kind of fun that it's like not perfectly matching. It kind of looks like the segments of like a doll arm that lock into each other. Love your otters. Thank you. I need to draw more of them. Maybe I'll do that after Donkey Kong. I was thinking I'll have like 4 or 5 animal options for everyone to pick for me to combine. Like it was otters and bats last time. Maybe like penguins, like rockhopper penguins. Or it could just be any penguin and I fit whatever. I don't know. I'll brainstorm real quick. Let's see, penguins, maybe cats, something like that. Right here. That's what I was looking for. And we'll do the same thing. I really like the texture this is giving. You have a few pieces from a video game called Hylix 2. I've never heard of that, but yeah, video game soundtrack music is what's up for stream background music, I think. It's just very calming, it's enjoyable. What is the problem? Oh, it's because this layer is on top, so we're just gonna quickly do that. Ooh, I like the green. It looks a little mossy. That's too much. Okay, I like that. Dig that. And we'll lower the opacity of all these things as well, so it's not so intense. But now we have the dilemma of this arm is getting lost, so we're going to do another clipping mask. Or this leg is getting lost, rather, behind this arm. See, cats, penguins, mice, chicken, crocodiles. That's a good variety of animals. I like that. Crocodile would be really fun. Oh, this needs to be a clipping mask as well. And maybe use a more purple shadow shade and just really carve that out. Cool, I like that. And then we'll just pull that back a little bit. And then maybe make the edges a little too harsh though. Because I want to emulate the curve of the arm. That's better. I just don't want it to be super harsh of a shadow. That looks good to me. Alright, and then we'll do the same on the body, the torso here. Where's the body? Where's the body? Right here. We'll do the same textured stickman brush. Oh, and this kind of goes all over the place. Oh, that goes on the barrel too. Interesting. Well, I'll deal with this first, and then I'll deal with the barrel second. I like the pink tones, so let's do more of that. Okay. I think that's good. Pull that back to like, maybe even a little less. Yeah, I like that. And the barrel, we will do the same thing on a separate clipping mask. Though I might want to do a different texture for the barrel entirely. But let's just mess around with this real quick, see where this gets us. And then maybe do like a wood texture or something. Because I like the grain, but maybe just a little bit of that, and then one more where, let's see, dry media. What kind of gritty, woody something or other we got here? Ooh, charcoal might be nice. Pencil shader. Charcoals. Let's see, Hylix 2 is a very trippy video game. The art style is claymation. Ooh. Psychedelic rock. Well, that sounds cool. Interested in the claymation of that. Willow charcoal. Let's see what this does. Let's just use a really dark brush so we can see it. Or not see it. Ooh. Why is this not showing up? Oh, it is. It's just like... Ooh, that looks more like dirt than wood. I do like that, but... I don't know what we're going for. Elements. Water, snow, spray paint. Materials. There's one called Blackwood. Maybe we'll try that. Zombie skin. Yeah, let's try whatever Blackwood is. Let's just see what it does. Okay, it's kind of giving like knotty wood. Not really what I'm looking for. I just kind of want to add like stripes along the lines of where the... Ooh, scratchy. There we go. Yeah, just add a little bit of... That's good. I like that. Perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. And then we'll erase this and we'll do them going diagonal too. I like that. Just adds a little bit of something. Then we'll change the opacity. Maybe even make it like overlay or something. Okay, and then we're having the same issue where there needs to be a shadow on this arm down here. Or just make it darker in general, that arm. Where is it? Okay, that's that. That's that. Let's do another clipping mask, and let's do the same shadow color down here. We'll bring that up here. We'll lower the opacity a bit. Makes it a little easier to see. I think that's okay. I'm not crazy about the background color anymore, but we'll worry about that in a second. We're going to deal with the tie first. And what I'm going to do, add in the lines first. Where's that rough? Love the Donkey Kong you're drawing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's coming together pretty quickly. I said he's coming to life right in front of our eyes. Let's do the line here and here and clean that up. Like that. And lower the opacity a bit because it kind of stands out a little much, doesn't it? Maybe not lower the opacity, but let's alpha lock and do a slightly lighter dark red. Like so. That's okay. That's better. We want the focus to be on those eyes, so we don't want anything to be as high contrast as that. Let's see. Is this all on the same layer? Oh, I'm really messed up. Okay. We don't want it on the same layer because we want to be able to control opacity and things like this, so let's pull it back. Let's do that. I like the purple in there. It kind of makes it more vibrant. Let's do that and then pull it back a little so it still reads as red. Alright, I'm into that. Now I feel like I want to do a little bit of rim lighting on the edge, but it might be overkill, so we're going to keep it really simple and see if it even looks good or not. But let's do like a bright greenish yellow. Like there's bright sunlight pouring into the jungle or whatever. I want to have him stand out a little bit on the edge of the fur. And maybe it's overkill, but maybe it's better to keep it simple and just change the background color, but I want to try this out real quick. See if I'm into it or not. I can always get rid of it. Easy enough layer to delete if I don't like it. Just taper this off like so. I can even try adding a glow to this to make it a little bit more like light, but that again might be overkill and take away from the simplicity of it, but we'll see how I feel. Let's do a little bit here, taper that off like here. I'm trying to imagine just like this edge, you know? I'm no expert on lighting, I just kind of do what feels right. I should study up more on like realistic lighting. One of those like you gotta know the rules to break them kind of things, but this is a vibes-based experiment here. I kind of like where it's going. What do we think in the chat? Think it's a bit too much? Yeah, I'm gonna turn it on and off and get everybody's opinion real quick. I think it might take away from the simplicity of the whole thing a bit. So real quick, let's do a quick informal poll of the 3 people in the chat here who might have a say. So rim lighting, on, off, on, off, on, off. I think it might be a little too much also, but leave it on for a sec. It gives me a chance to have a little bit of water anyway. Appreciate the emojis, whoever's sending them as well. Thank you. On. Okay, 2 votes on. You like the light more? Alright, we're keeping it. Let's add just a little bit, not too much more, but just like a little bit would be hitting the edge of this barrel, I think. And like a little bit would be hitting like this knuckle. Just like from here. I think that looks okay. And then, yes, thank you guys for your opinion there. I always worry that I'm overcomplicating things and over-rendering. Let's do a little bit of texture and variety of the greens in the background, and then we can call it a day on Donkey Kong. I just want to brighten up this green a little, add a little bit of yellow, some funky jungle colors and whatnot. I already like this way more than just the dark green. I love this brush, Nico Raw. It's a default Procreate brush. It's the best brush of all time, I think. Though I do want it to be a little bit darker over here so this leg doesn't get lost. Maybe just like a little bit more blue in there. Yeah, that's the thing, is you can get carried away with the rim lighting and do it all around the character and it just ruins it. I agree. It takes away from the charm of it. But I think that's looking pretty cool. Let's add a little bit more yellow in there. Maybe not that color, but like something like this, maybe. Nuh-uh. Or it gets a little bit lighter yellow on the left where like the sun would be. Like that. Let's get rid of this layer that says DK letters because I already added them. We don't need that. It's killing the vibe. I think that looks okay. What do we think? Or maybe just pull it back a little bit, like just a little bit of texture. I I don't want him getting lost in the texture. If I have it full opacity, I feel like he gets lost a little bit. So maybe pull it back a smidge. And then do my classic. Let's do a noise layer because it makes everything look good. Let's do overlay. And like right around there. I think that looks pretty cool. Chef's kiss. Thank you so much. Let me make sure it's fully on screen for everyone. What do we all think of DK? We think he's done for the evening? Can move on to Moo Moo Meadows cow. I might have to finish like the background of the Moo Moo Meadows cow off stream. Just because I want to get to drawing the hybrid animals tonight. Don't mind the clattering, that's just me moving around my room. My legs. Yippee. Alright, I'm happy with Donkey Kong. Let's do the final shading of the cow on the Moo Moo Meadows piece. The background, that's gonna have to be a me problem off stream, but you can see what I was working on. You can see the vision, right? Very simplified Moo Moo Meadows background. This is something that I will deal with in my own time. I will not stress out the stream too like that. Mainly because, yeah, in about 25 minutes I would like to do some hybrid animals. I think that would be a lot of fun. So we're going to do maybe not the exact same thing we did with Donkey Kong because I don't want grit necessarily with Moo Moo Meadows cow, but I do want a little bit of variety in hue. So what I want to try is duplicating my round render brush. Well, it's not my brush, it's one I like to use. We're going to go to color dynamics and I want to try just messing with the hue settings of this brush and just see what happens because I like the soft texture of it. And what layer is this, first of all? It's the back hooves. So let's try that. Immediately doesn't work. Cool. What am I doing wrong in the hue settings, folks? Let's see. This is my first time, like, trying this with a... Ooh, color pressure. Is it color tilts? No, that's just how you tilt the pen. Stroke color jitter. Hue. Let's do that. Let's just see if this works. Okay, there's a little... It's like based on how much pressure you put on the pen, I see. Interesting, so you have a little bit more control over it. Okay, we're gonna make that a lot more so I don't have to apply as much pressure to get variation. That's interesting. So it can get warmer or cooler based on how much pressure you apply. Huh. Well, we're gonna delete that real quick. We're just gonna go in and maybe... Okay, so let me think. If the sky is nice and warm and the lighting's coming from behind the cow, it would be kind of warmer on the edges. If you push in, it gets a little bit warmer and then fades to cool and then warmer on the edges. That's my logic anyway. I like that little bit of purple it's adding, but I think I'm overthinking all of this anyway. So maybe I'll just do what I was going to do in the first place. Regular round render brush. And I want to warm up this blue a little bit with some of this pink. And then just use the hues that it creates here to kind of blend in. Yeah, I like that touch of pink. Dusty pink. We'll do that kind of color everywhere that the light touches without getting it too complicated because we want to keep the nice simple look, same with Donkey Kong. But I like the softness of that brush as opposed to the textured, chunkier one I was using on DK. Ooh, even better. Alright, take back what I just did. I was just thinking about this earlier. I was looking through the little golden books I have. A lot of times the shading is just a chalk brush like this with a different color. It's not like softly faded or anything. So let's do that. Go for a very like retro storybook kind of texture where it's very simple. It adds a lot of visual depth because of the color and whatnot, but it's actually not that complicated. It's just a highlight. with like a chalky kind of textured brush like that. Maybe make that a little bit brighter. That works. Just where the light touches. I like the direction of that. Alright, we're rolling with that. What's next? The ears. Well, this needs to be a much lighter pink highlight. So we'll take that sky pink and we'll just bump it up. Highlight on the edges like that. Like that. We'll do the same on the back leg. I like how it's coming together so far. I see a vision. I don't know if it's the vision, but it's a vision. I see it. I don't think I want to do anything to the udders. I kind of like them just being the one color. What else? The horn. Somehow even whiter and brighter and tinted pink. Like that. That works. Now the cow body, all of it should be in shadow except for the very edges. So we're going to very lightly tint this accordingly to make the interior maybe a little bit darker. I like it being off-white. Let's see how this color reads. Yeah, the white tail is blending into the background. You're right. I'll fix that. Mooses. Let's try. I think I like the off-white color. I think that works. We'll do the same to the tail as well, just so it doesn't blend into that white background so bad. Maybe even a little bit darker on the tail just to make it not. Okay. And then we'll pull it back a little bit. Okay, the tail is legible on the white background now. Thank you for pointing that out. I always want to make sure all the shapes are readable. Everything else like color and rendering and stuff is kind of secondary to if the shapes read from a distance, like you can tell what's going on. See, right now I'm seeing a problem with, I'm going to take that cloud out from behind the cow right there on the background because it's blending into the back of the cow shape. Like this reads a little bit better. That's better. Stuff like that. If that's in place, I feel like you can kind of do whatever you want with, you know, the textures and stuff like that. It's like value and shape are the most important things. Does everything make sense to look at? Let's do the arm a little bit like that. I think this is a little overkill with the detail too, like the way this comes up. So I'm going to simplify this a little bit. Just kind of soft out and round out that shape there. And I might tint this a little bit pink as well. This whole cow body layer, I might tint it a little bit pink. Though I don't want it to blend into the sky, so maybe an overlay layer over the whole thing would be better than that, but yeah, I might do that at the end. Same with the noise layer, just to polish it all up. Alright, I think that reads okay. I think it reads that the light's coming from behind the cow. The sunlight is behind the cow. Makes sense to me. Alright, and then what is next on the agenda? The spots. Spots, we'll keep it real simple. We'll do just on the edges the sky color. Maybe even something a little bit lighter, like the ear. Good, thank you. I appreciate your feedback. See, this is why I like doing these on stream, is I get really good feedback immediately from people. It's fun. If I was doing this on my own, it would be a little bit more tedious, and it would just be me hemming and hawing about picking 2 different colors for like 30 minutes. Or missing very obvious stuff like the tail blending in with the background. I gotta fix this ear shape too. That's not doing it for me, how it juts out like right here. I'll fix that in a sec. Pull that back. Okay, I think that looks alright. But I am gonna fix that ear shape because it's making me a little crazy. So, let's whittle that weird bump off. Okay. Cool. I might even make the sky a little bit darker behind the cow, that way that pink doesn't get totally lost. But, let's see. Make it just a little bit darker, a little bit more saturated. Maybe more like this. Or more purple. Okay, something like that. This again, the background is a bridge to deal with. A bridge to cross at another time. Self-judge. Yeah, you can get really lost in your own head of doubting yourself and taking forever to make simple decisions, that if you just made any decision, doesn't matter if it's the right one or the wrong one, if you just make a decision and commit to it and post it, 99 people out of 100 are going to say, yeah, it looks fine. Overthinking can be the death of making a finished piece. Definitely. That's why I like the stream. It helps me condense it to like, okay, I want to get it done this stream. You got to make decisions. You got to commit. What else were we doing? Oh yeah, the other spots. Let's do the same light pink on just the back. I don't want to do the bottom of the ear. Just like here. Get that chalky texture to match where the white is, so it all kind of blends in like it's one beam of light across the back of the cow. Yeah, exactly. It's feedback. Helpful advice and feedback is different than being like, this looks terrible. Fix it. But I've been to art school, so I've had harsh critiques. Like, you get used to it. It's all constructive. It's all meant to make you improve, you know. Shouldn't be taking it personally. And also, I grew up when DeviantArt was actually like a somewhat helpful art website. Like, people would actually give constructive feedback and put, like, if you asked for feedback, if you said no feedback and people gave unsolicited feedback, it was annoying. But like, if you had a personal piece you didn't necessarily want people's 2 cents on, that was kind of irritating. But growing up in that world, plus going to art school, you get very used to people just being like, hey, that leg looks jacked up. Can you fix it? Like, and actually fixing it and going, you know what? It looks a lot better that way, thank you. Like, you can't take it personal, you know? And if you really do like it better than what the person is saying, you can just keep it your way. Like, I'm not getting graded on this. I'm not getting paid for it. I can do it however I want. I aim to please. I want it to look good to the audience, but ultimately I'm the one drawing it, so... But everybody's suggestions do improve the pieces, so I do listen and take the feedback. Let's do a lighter, brighter blue-ish. Maybe tint it pink. Like... Ooh, I like the little bit of pink mixed in with the light blue. That's kind of doing something for me. Bring back that light blue. DJ, run that back. Let's get... I like that. It looks very soft and like pointillism or something if you mix in the 2 colors. I think I cooked something here. Let's bring that... Let's get that really saturated light blue in there. And then get that pink in there on top. Hold up. Let's get... I like that. That's very soft and pretty. Like from back here, like zoomed out, it looks very pastel. I want it very saturated pink up here though. Yeah, brighten that up. That's pretty. That's maybe a little too purple. We're gonna undo that a smidge. We want it warm pink. We don't want cold pink. But that's pretty. I'm gonna have to like find a way to really utilize that moving forward. That's an interesting tool in my pocket. Anyhow. The snout. We'll make this all this color, and then we'll bring that highlight color back in with that chalk brush instead of the softer brush I was using. Let's just do... yeah, just do the top of the nose like I had it, but with this brush instead of the softer one I was using before. That looks alright. Maybe even a little bit lighter. Let's do more of these like multi-layer chalk things. It's not as interesting as the blue, is it? Let's do maybe a yellow. Let's bring a yellow in. Okay, I kind of see the vision here. We're gonna pull it way back. It's not gonna be this intense, but I like the direction that's headed in. Let's really soften it up. Make it 99% pink, 1% yellow. Alright, it's not as interesting as the blue. But you gotta try stuff out, you know? You gotta just try stuff. Now what stinks is I like the way the gold is on the nose ring and the bell, but it kind of doesn't match, so I'll quickly add in a little bit of chalk texture to make all the textures kind of gel, because it is standing out a little bit how like smooth this all looks now, but Alright, I think that looks okay. We're gonna leave the nose alone. I think it looks good enough. Alright, what's next? This one. This horn, I should say. And we don't want too much white at the top because it's kind of blending into the white background a smidge. We're gonna fix that real quick. Add a little bit of orangishness up there. Yellowishness. Just so it doesn't get lost in that white. And pull that back. Alright, I think that looks okay. What else? What else? The bike stuff I'm not going to be as detailed about. I'm going to be real. It's just adding a couple highlights. I think that's what we're on to next though, is the bike stuff. Okay. Let's deal with this. So I'm not a big fan of drawing vehicles. If anybody knows anything about me. Cars, planes, bikes, boats. It is just not my forte. I've gotten better at it over the years. I've gotten a little bit more confident at like breaking it down into basic shapes and stuff like that, but I just, every time I'm tasked with drawing any kind of vehicle, it's like, oh man, I really don't want to do it. I don't get excited about drawing a car, but I'll do it. Client needs a cartoon car, I got you. I'm slowly getting better at it. There's this great little golden book called, I think, just Cars. And there's some really interesting stylistic ways that the illustrator, whose name I can't remember, illustrates these cars in like the retro golden book style. I really need to sit and like just do car studies for a day. Off stream, because I think it would kind of be boring to do on stream. Unless there's like car aficionados who want to see their favorite cars in little golden book style, but I'm not a car person. It's more of a study for me to do. But just to get more confident at drawing automobiles. We're just doing a regular shadow on the bike. I'm not getting too excited about the bike. It already has such high contrast standing outside of the background that I don't think it needs much work on it at all. I think it looks pretty fine the way it is. I wanted all the joy and the love to be in the cow. So I think this works. I did want to pull back. Where is it? Where is it? Right here. This pink is a little much on the hoof I'm feeling now. So maybe if I just lightened up a little bit. Then I need to lighten up that white as well to pull that back similarly so it's not mismatched. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I just think it was like too far down the hoof. Something like that. Okay, that's a little better. That resonates with... Same with this other hoof's looking a little janky now. We're cleaning up. We're refining. Alright, but this is basically almost done. For now. The background has to be done on its own time, but I think the cow is close to being where I want it to be. I'm just going to fix that hoof. I'm going to add a little bit of texture to the bell and the nose piercing, and then we're going to move on to... Yeah, just about time for last hour stream. We'll do some hybrid animals in about 5 minutes here. Alright, we're going to add a little bit of texture. Just a little bit so the textures match. Zoomed out, you don't even really notice anyway, but... Let's do a little bit... Ooh, that's too much. Like that? Yeah. Yeah, like and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you, Caitlin. Where was I? Right, my hoof. Where is it? Right here. Wunderbar. Right here. We want to use the same pink. It was just looking a little muddy. I might even, like... steal that light pink, like right here. Cool, and then bring it up a little bit. That looks a little bit cleaner and nicer, don't you think? Alright, we're gonna hide the background just to see if the cow looks good on its own. I think it's looking pretty cute. I might want to... Let's just try brightening up the spots a smidge. Not too much. Just like 2%. Just because the eye, I think, is getting a little bit lost. I think that's okay. Delicate. I don't want it too bright. Okay, I'm kind of feeling that. I want to push this background in the background a little bit, though. You know what I mean? Because I think it's all looking like one shape and then the bike. I want it to be crystal clear. So what I could do is add a little bit of a rim light to the nose, which I want to do. I have 4 minutes to mess around with this. So I don't want to go crazy on the rim lighting. I just want it on the nose to help define it. So like here, but actually match the curve of the nose. Here, and then a little bit. Oh, is this not on top of everything? Let's put it on top of every layer. Very tippy top. And not make it a clipping mask. A little bit of highlight on the nose ring. Okay, that helps the nose stand out. We'll do it all on this edge. No, I don't think it needs that. Just the nose needed help. I might even take it back to like here. Just to help that nose, because it was kind of getting lost in the clouds there. What else is getting lost? Well, I think it'll help when I actually do the final background, but I think that's okay for now. Because like this orange windmill is going to be a darker shade, so the udder will pop up against it and whatnot. I think that'll be okay. I have 2 minutes, so I want to quickly add in a noise layer, which I'll have to turn off when I actually work on the background off stream. But the noise on overlay makes everything look cute. Okay. This is a good stopping point for tonight. I'm going to work on this background off stream, maybe do final touches at the like top 10 minutes of next stream. We're going to call it. I'm going to leave this on screen while I take a 1-minute water break here, and then we'll get into some hybrid animals. If anyone has a combination they're dying to see, I'll take a stab at it and I'll just improv some animal hybrids. If anyone's got a favorite animal or two. I know there were suggestions earlier. I liked crocodile. It was like crocodile, cat, penguin. I can't remember the others off the top of my head, so. Sorry if that glass straw is really loud in the mic. I just thought about that right now. I'm like, that probably sounds horrible, like anti-ASMR. Alright, let me set up a big, beautiful blank canvas, and I'll make it dark, because I was not liking the camp story time, spooky story lighting that was going on my face just now. 10 by 10. I got water on my screen. Let me take care of that real quick. This light... horrible. It's like fluorescent lighting for streams. Alright, that's much better. Let's get a nice neutral, like a nice parchment or something. Just not bright white, please. Horrible. I suffer for my craft when I work on something with a white background. Alright. I want it to look pleasant though, so maybe pink. That's fine. I'm worrying about the neutral color of the background. It's not a big deal. Alright. Get this drying brush and just start making some shapes. Warm up. Loosen up. Loosen my arm up like I haven't been drawing all day. Loosen up. Alright, some animal ideas. Penguin. All types. I like rockhoppers the best, but we could do all types. Crocodile. Otters, of course, are in the running. Let's see, cat. And I'll take any other suggestions for animals. But in the meantime, I'm just going to draw the first thing that comes to my mind. I'm really feeling a rockhopper penguin, but I'm trying to think of what else to combine it with. Let's do a cat. I feel like cats are my, like, easiest animal to draw, because I've been drawing them since I was a very little kid. And when I think of a rockhopper and a cat, I think of like a Persian, like a flat-faced cat, but with like the rockhopper eyebrows. Now I just need to think of like what the body's gonna be doing. It's gonna be a fat, stubby little body, right? Like a short tail, perhaps? This is a really rough sketch. We're gonna lower the opacity of that real quick. Do a layer on top. But I think a flat-faced Persian cat, angry with the rockhopper eyebrows, is a good starting point. And then the angry ears. You know. I'll have to look up a reference in a bit, but we're just doing top of the dome for right now. Do I want to do flippers? I mean, it's a hybrid animal. It can be ridiculous, right? Let's do flippers. Short, stubby tail. And we'll do... Should we do flippers? Or is that a step too far? And maybe it should just be like... The cat paws are hidden. So this is a really, like, this animal can't fly. And it can't really swim too well because it's a cat and doesn't want to swim. Doesn't like the water. So he kind of just hangs out and is angry all day. It's a good animal. His head just kind of blends in with his neck. It's just all fluff and chub. I'm gonna have to look up rockhopper penguins and Persian cats here in a minute to kind of really flesh this out. Alright, to Google. Rockhopper penguin. I love these little guys. I was just at the aquarium here in Chicago, the Shed, and they had some little rockhoppers, and they're so cute. I think more animals should have eyebrows that make them look like cranky little old men. they look like little old guys. They're really cute. The eyebrows kind of fray out like that. And otherwise they have just short little penguin bodies, but the white kind of stops at the neck in like a little swoosh. Like that. And then look up Persian cat face. Persian cat face. There's that flat face I love. They look absolutely ridiculous. Maybe he's got like those little tiny teeth showing. You know, the little itty bitty teeth. Maybe a little ridiculous, but... we want nice, big, cranky looking eyes. Like this. Kind of a mess of a sketch, but it's coming together. Promise. I like the idea of the fur going down, like it's drooping on the sides. And we want a little bit of that fur to kind of blend into the smooth feathers of the penguin. A little bit of tuft of fur inside the ear as well. They're just very fluffy, fuzzy guys. Something like that. Alright, this is a very rough drawing. We're gonna do kind of, I think what I did last time was I made really, really rough sketches and then I kind of cleaned them up all as a batch at the end. They're just ideas, you know? Rough ideas. Alright, there's one rough idea. Ooh, we want uniform so it doesn't warp it. Something like that. Alright, there's one idea down. That's another good hybrid. I want to do something with a crocodile, but what? Crocodile otter would be interesting because it's like long and snappy. Or crocodile cat. Keep the cat theme going. Or crocodile and something else. What was the other suggestion? I'm going to scroll real quick. See if I can't find it. Somebody had a list of like 5 or 6 animals. Where was it? I can't find it now. Huh. Oh, cats, penguins, mice, chicken, crocodiles. Ooh, okay. Let me real quick. Mice, chickens. Ooh, chicken crocodile's interesting. It's like the dinosaur bird thing. Kind of difficult as well. So let's brainstorm a chicken crocodile. Let's do chicken. Let me just look at a chicken. Not the food chicken, like not cooked chicken. Chicken animal. Thank you. We're not doing a rotisserie chicken with crocodile fangs. Alright. Let's look at the general shapes of a chicken. I don't even know if this is a thing that will look good, but we're gonna try it because why not, you know? Maybe a baby crocodile. Get those proportions nice and small. Ooh, they have snappy little... They have short little snouts. I think this works better for like a chicken. Okay, baby crocodile, chicken. This is something I can potentially do here. Let me cook. Alright. We'll get the little baby crocodile head open here. Let's think of the head, because that's the hardest thing. The body, you can kind of wing it, as like what I did with the cat penguin here. But somebody stop me if you're not into whatever's going on here. My chat stopped moving, so I'm just making sure everybody's good. Alright. Let's do... Alright, the eye is really big compared to the size of the head for the baby. Just we're loosely sketching out like a shape of a crocodile baby head. And then trying to figure out how to morph it into a chicken. See, I like the nice big eye. I think we keep that. How to make it almost, it'll be like a dodo bird almost, maybe. Maybe, like, I want it to be cute too, is the thing. I don't want it to be creepy necessarily. Maybe it's got like cartoon teeth, like that? No, that's still kind of creepy. Maybe there's not a cute way to do a crocodile chicken. It's just gonna look like a messed up little dodo bird, perhaps. Because the rest of the body is just gonna be chicken, right? Or it could be... Because it just kind of looks like a weird little dodo. That's looking like a dodo bird. Because then what do you do from here? You do like crocodile legs? It's a little silly. Maybe I'm thinking the other way around. Maybe I need to do crocodile first and make him cute. Cute, happy crocodile. But how do I make him a chicken? I just give him a couple cute little teeth. I think the beak with the teeth was a little creepy. We're gonna do cute little baby crocodile mouth. How do we make this thing a chicken? Why am I torturing myself like this, by the way? Nobody's stopping me. What else can I do with a crocodile? Crocodile's tough. Like, I am drawn to it because I want to take on the challenge, but it's really tough. It's got this long body. Even the babies are very long. Let me just sit here and sketch baby crocodiles and see what comes to me for what else to combine it with. It doesn't have to be a chicken, but that might be too hard of a challenge, the chicken crocodile challenge. Unless it's just a crocodile in a chicken suit. They just have such slender bodies. Like an otter crocodile, because you can just swap the otter tail for the croc tail, right? That seems a little too obvious. Might do that later, because I need a W for these crocodile hybrids, right? Let's see. The head kind of tapers into the body. Okay. Let me think. If I make it upright, it kind of looks like a weird little baby dragon right now, but bear with me. Let me cook. Alright. Maybe if I give it a weird fat little body and like tail feathers? Alright, with wings. It's something. There's something here. I don't know if it's great, but it's something. Also, I'm gonna refresh my chat real quick, or my stream window. Bear with me, you might hear the audio duplicated for like 2 seconds before I mute it. 1 second. Okay, no, it's still muted. Cool. It's just my video was frozen on my end, so just had to give her the old refresh. All right. Is it muted? Okay. I'm so paranoid of the audio doubling because I did that one time. And it was like, if anybody's seen that Tazon Day stream where he just didn't notice that his audio kept doubling and then quadrupling and then... I think about that all the time. How else can I do? Well, if he's got tail feathers, that kind of takes away the croc thing. So maybe he's got a croc tail too. The neck's a little long. Maybe something like this. And he's got scales that kind of turn into, as you get further down the body, it's like feathers here, but scales up here. And then he's got a croc tail here. It's a very impractical animal. This is not like thought out creature design. You know? Of like, oh, why is this creature built like this? What function do all these parts serve? I don't know. We're just putting animals in a blender and seeing what happens. Crocodile chicken smoothie. Nice crocodile tail, and then do we want to do croc legs? Or chicken feet are kind of like scaly anyway. So maybe I just do chicken feet, but I make the nails like a little crazy. And more like croc feet. Because the chicken legs already have like a scaly kind of texture to them anyway. Let me look up that. Where were those chickens I was looking at? Yeah, we'll cover that up with feathers, and then I always forget that it's, for chickens, it's like a big tuft of fluff and then the leg, and not, in my mind, I always think it's like this and then the fluff is up here. Not the case with the chicken. Okay, crazy claws. Okay, this is a semi-successful crocodile chicken hybrid. I wouldn't say I'm crazy about it, but it is a crocodile and a chicken. And maybe I should add some of these things to the head. I forget what this part of the chicken is called. The red stuff that is on chickens' heads. And we'll add a little one of these things too. Like, I think that's okay. Let's look at crocodile head up close. I want to see where the scale situation is by the eyes. It kind of is like an eye mask shape, almost. And then darker scales up here. And then you kind of get bands of scales that are like darker, lighter, darker. We're going to really simplify all this, but dark, light, dark, light. Okay, I'm kind of into this. It's getting somewhere. I want to change the mouth shape to be a little bit more crocodile-y. A little bit more wonky. And for some reason I remember from Zaboomafoo or some kid's animal show that crocodiles have the kind of wonky mismatched teeth that don't really line up so well, and alligators have the teeth that kind of, like when the mouth closes, it's kind of closed. I'm pretty sure that's the case, that crocodiles have kind of like wonkier, funkier teeth than alligators do. Okay, too much work on the rough concept of that. We're gonna move that over here. Next hybrid concept. Let's see. Maybe I'll do 4, because then I can ink them on the same stream, because I'll do quick inks like I did for the otter bats. Let's do 4 hybrids. Let's do 2 I haven't done yet. So we can do otters and mice. We can do, well, I guess we've done all the other animals. Yeah, otters and mice are the 2 I haven't done yet. An otter mouse. Okay, let's try it. An otter mouse. I think if this guy is chunky and this guy is a little bit more lean, Maybe we'll do a chubby little guy over here, and then a sleeker something over here, like a penguin crocodile, or a cat crocodile, or I don't know, something sleeker over here and something chunkier over here. I'm thinking a cute chubby little field mouse who's got the otter squish mouth and nose, you know, the cute chubby wubby diamond shape. Already I like this face. I just kind of want to leave it like that. Oh, I like this guy already. He's just gonna be a little ball of fluff. He's not even gonna be realistic. Just look at this little gumdrop. He's gonna have little hands. Maybe he's got a little piece of cookie or something he stole. It's kind of like the whole like otter holding a shell thing, but it's just it's a very tiny cookie. Maybe it's a Famous Amos cookie or something, okay? Or it's a Cookie Crisp cookie. But we're not gonna think too hard about the scale here. It's the vibe, right? It's a little mouse with a little something to eat. It's the energy of it, you know? Or maybe it's a really, really big mouse. You ever think about that? No? Okay. I love how I'm just talking to myself. I'm having a ball. Let's see. Oh, I got a comment here. Famous Amos cookie? Yeah. I hated those, by the way. I ate them all, but like, I ate them as an adult before I stopped eating dairy and whatnot. Not my thing, but nostalgic. I'm not a crunchy cookie enjoyer anymore. I like a soft cookie. But memories. Thank you for the fire emojis. Oh my gosh. Alright. What else can I do to make it more ottery? Okay, he's got the otter face. He's got the little mousy hands and ears. I guess an otter tail, right? That makes sense. So, to make it look fatter and stubbier, we make it flat on the ground. Like the weight of it is just like too heavy. So something like that? Oh, dairy me. Ha ha ha. Memories. Yeah, what, it was eating Famous Amos cookies and Cheez-Its by the truckload. By the Costco pallet. Those were the days. You could probably make a mean bowl of like knockoff Cookie Crisp by just dumping a bunch of Famous Amos in a bowl with some milk. Right? I'm sure somebody's done that. I kind of want a stubbier tail as well. It's like too long. But does that read otter, or just it looks like a weird like appendage on the mouse? Alright. We're gonna do a mouse tail. Because I like a mouse tail, but now it's giving too much mouse. What other otter characteristics could I give it? Let me think. The box on top of the fridge, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the soft cookies that melt in your mouth from Walmart, those are fire. The Loft House cookies, those are fire. Okay, I think what else is ottery about him though? I think, is the otter nose enough? Because I like him. I don't want to mess with success. I think he's silly looking. I kind of like him. But you like those crunchy ones? You like them crunchy? I'm trying to think what other characteristics I could do. The otter feet aren't much difference. Yeah, the Loft House sugar cookies. The North Branch Bakery cookies though, ooh. Yeah, the Loft House sugar cookies. They're fire. The North Branch Bakery in middle of nowhere, North Branch, Michigan, has some really, 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 really good sugar cookies. I haven't had them in years because vegan and all that, but Fox's Golden Cream's not familiar, but I'm sure they're fire. The North Branch Bakery cookies slap. They do slap. They're so good. I don't think I've ever eaten anything else from there except the punchkis, and those are gas. The custard ones. Oh. I need somebody to make me a vegan version of that, like, now. There are places that do vegan punchkis, but you gotta order them, like, a month in advance, and I don't know if they're any good or not. You know what? The only ottery thing about this guy is that he's holding something, like his favorite rock, and he's got the otter nose. I'm just sitting here, like, doing the same lines over and over. We're calling it done. We're moving on, folks. Make me a vegan dupe. Sick. That'd be awesome. How do you do the vegan custard, though? That's the tough part. Alright, I'm just like spinning my wheels doing the same. We're moving on. Last hybrid. We're gonna do 4, folks. Let's see. A keto dupe? That would be like impossible. Of a punchki? It's all flour and sugar. That's 90% of the thing. Shoot. Alright. What's a combo I haven't done yet? I could do chicken cat. I could do penguin chicken. I could do crocodile penguin. I could do otter crocodile. I could do cat mouse. Chicken mouse. I don't know. What are we feeling? What are we doing for the last one? Somebody just throw out a combo. Or you can throw me a wild card of 2 other random animals and I'll figure it out. Sorry to just go silent and stare into the abyss for a minute. I'm just trying to think, what other hybrids would I like? The haggis animal. You know, vegan a little, because, yeah, exactly. Shark dog, haggis, shark dog. Shark dog, is that a Jilly Bean request? Moose. Okay, let's do. Okay, moose shark would be really tough. You're on a moose kick tonight. Okay, shark moose. She's my favorite person. That's right, fire. That's my dog. It is a Jilly Bean thing. Okay, moose are cute. Let's do moose. Moose dog. Okay, that's cute. I'm trying to think of something she would like. Moose dog. Kind of like a... What's his name? The moose from Frozen. Have your moose on my wall. Aw. Alright, I'm just doing a moosey shape here. Let me just look up moose. It always feels funny looking up reference for common animals because you're like, do I actually know how a moose looks? You think you know how a moose looks in your head and you just don't. Oh yeah, they have really unusual nose shapes. It'd be cute. Dog, I have a pretty good idea of how to make something look like a dog. Okay. So characteristics of moose. They have a very unusual big nose. Kind of floops like that. They have the antlers, of course, the most obvious moose-like thing. They have the hooves. I don't want to do that. I want to do paws to make it like a dog. And there's some other moose-like feature. Oh, the hump on the back. So maybe I'll have it kind of hunched over. Not with the full moose hump, but... Ooh, we don't want that uniform so it doesn't squish. We're going to reduce the size of the cat penguin real quick. And we're going to get rid of the word layer. Okay, but how to make it big and squishy and fluffy like a dog. So big old silly nose, goofy kind of smile. We're going to do the antlers, but we're going to make them really rounded and fluffy and cute. We're not going to make them super realistic or anything like that. Cute and cartoony. And then instead of the ears facing up like they would on a moose, maybe we have them flopped over and down like a puppy. Like that. I was waiting for you to come in because I was like, yo, I'm doing the hybrids. I've done a cat rockhopper penguin, a Persian cat rockhopper penguin. I've done a chicken crocodile, baby crocodile. I've done a mouse that's mostly mouse but with an otter face. And now I'm doing a moose dog. A moose dog. And I think I'm going to do this all next stream as well, so after I wrap up, I'm probably going to do the inking on these 4. And I'm going to do a whole hybrid improv stream like this next week. I think that'll be the plan. Because I kind of want a chill stream where I just kind of do stuff like this. So, I think that's the agenda. We'll do a cute little tongue sticking out, like a doggy. Maybe have a big old hunch, like a moose. And have him sitting down. Maybe maybe he's got moose hooves up front, and then he's got dog paws in the back. I'm just trying to think of what a cute combo is. And I think moose hooves have like a separation or whatever, like that. I'll look that up in a second. But I think this shape would work for a moose. The front legs. And I don't know if the back legs should be like, I think that's a little silly. Maybe splayed out like, I'm trying to think, like big old pup paws. Like so. Lab ears are cool. Something like that. Maybe he can have a spot over one eye. Like a puppy. Maybe the head should be off the body just a little bit more. It's kind of sinking in. He doesn't have a neck. He needs a little bit of a neck. Yeah, a little bit more upright like that. Okay. It's coming along. That's kind of a goofy looking paw, but... Then we'll do a dog tail, though, because we need more dog. The antlers are kind of overwhelming as, like, a moose trait. I think this is okay. I like the big floppy paws as opposed to little paws. The spot on the eye, yeah. Do a snail mixed with a jellyfish. Oh, that's a cute little one I'll throw in the middle, actually. I was gonna do just 4, but let me write snail jellyfish really quick. Because I want to do one of your requests, because you're the one who wanted the hybrids in the first place, so I'd feel bad if I dipped without doing one of your requests, you know? Looks like he's begging for a treat. Yeah, I think it kind of works. Let me look up real quick. Moose legs. Okay. Yeah, they're a little bit different shape than I imagined. Okay. They're got the cloven in front. I'm gonna keep it simple because they do have this little bit, like a bit in the back here, but I want to keep it kind of cartoony and simple. So we'll roll with the shape I had, but just fix it a little bit. I think that looks okay. Now, the back dog legs here are really dog sitting. Not like dog sitting, like checking up on a dog. Dog sitting down, legs sitting. I don't know. Legs out. Okay. A dog leg kind of like is one big curve and then a stick and then the paws kind of at the end. So that kind of works. And I can get away with it by saying it's just a hybrid. That's just how they look. We're gonna make it just kind of wacky and cartoony and just not anatomically correct. Right, folks? Because this is not how dog legs should look. Your internet stuff working weird. That's alright. You can always watch the replay, and I'll be doing a full stream of this next week, so don't you worry. Because this is fun to me. It's fun to combine critters and kind of improv like this. This will be all next Friday as well. The paw is not doing this one is really, we're gonna just copy the other paw and bring it a little bit more in the foreground, because this one, though it looks silly, it looks a little bit better than the other one, so we're just gonna copy and paste it and cheat a little bit. Puppy sitting because they're all pudgy and floppy. Yeah, that's a good idea. Puppy, whoa, dropped my iPad on myself. Puppy sitting down. Oh, with their little floppy paws. I'm just staring intensely at this little pug dog. Okay. I do want to do the snail jellyfish and outline these, but I'm stuck on this paw situation. Maybe I just have his foot sticking out like this. So I'm looking at a pug that's kind of seated, like, with the paw aiming away. Like so. And it just kind of goes back in the body like that. I mean, it's better, right? Whatever. Whatever, folks. We're gonna... Okay, one like that, and then... Now I'm gonna copy and paste this one, because it looks better than the other one. No, I'll leave the other one like that, but I'm gonna push it a little back. So it's kind of hidden behind the other one. Cheat it a little bit. Alright, we're gonna ignore the fact that this is not anatomically correct, because this is our moose dog hybrid, and this is what we're working with. Alright, this one's a little silly, but I can get behind it. Woo! Merge that down. We're gonna interlock these like this. And then we're gonna do I could fit the snail jellyfish right in here, actually. I'm just gonna move and shift all these guys around so they kind of fit together. It doesn't really matter, I can post them individually as well, but it's fun if we can get them to kind of look like one piece. And then a snail jellyfish goes right there. Now let me think. For the snail jellyfish, better shape on the rear feet. Thank you. Yeah, I think that this one is way better than this one. You know what? I am going to copy and paste that. After I said I wasn't gonna. 'Cause I do like that shape better. Get rid of the first one. Like that. Whoa. Not that far. There we go. Okay. He's a cutie. Thanks for drawing the moose pup. Thank you. Multiple legs, big shell, antenna eyes. Good idea. Let's see. Just from memory without looking up a snail. I think the shells are something like this, with like a little opening here. And then, of course, spirals. The shell is gooey like a jellyfish. Or it could be just angled differently. Think jellyfish from SpongeBob. And maybe the head comes out a little bit this way and the legs are kind of flowing. Like so. So I'm just trying to think of the shape of the jellyfish. I want it to be nice and fat on the end so it's nice and cute. The shell could be colorful. Yeah, it could be translucent too, like a pink, like see-through shell kind of thing. We'll have this middle be some kind of organs, body, whatever, that's a little bit darker, and then this can be even more see-through on the outside. I think that would be cool. We can color these at the top of the stream next week too. I'll just do ink and maybe a quick color pass to show the like see-through-ness of the shell. I think that'd be kind of neat. Let's see, what was the other idea? Little antenna eyes, of course. The eyes could just be little dots. Ooh, it could be like just little guys. Boop. Or I'm trying to think of a cute way to do the antenna eyes. Let's see if he's real shy, maybe it's just a little head. It could just be just a little tiny guy like that. Or it could be, let's see, I'll do a different one on the left and on the right. I could do just a happy little eye like that. A little bit more detailed. Or it can be super simple on a stalk. Or it could just be like little eyes on the side of the head like that. And you could have little antennae that are just like tendrils to give more of the jellyfish look. So 3 options there. Do you think this one would shock you if you could touch it? I hope so, but I hope it would be like a static cling shock and not like lethal. Let's see, we have option 1 is the weird little stalk with the dot on the end. Option 2 is like a regular snail eyes. And then 3 is like these with like the tendrils on the side as like ears, antenna. I don't really know what they're for, but has tiny little arms that are really long. Ooh, yeah, it could have arms up front that are just like really long tentacles, like that. How do we feel about that? Sorry about the crazy blinding color. Option 3. Yeah, I like option 3 too. We're gonna get rid of this. That blue is obnoxious. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I did that. I think just to highlight the different options. But something like this with the arms. How do we feel about the arms? Keep or nix? Look at his little face. Isn't he sweet? I like the translucency idea for the shell too. Okay, how do we feel about the arms, folks? Let's do a very quick informal poll. You love it? If you love it, I'm gonna keep it because it was your idea. Oh, look how cute he is. Yeah, we're gonna keep the arms. I think he's cute. Now we're gonna make him a little bit larger and... Well, actually, I like that he's smaller than everybody else because he would be smaller than everyone else, wouldn't he? It's just a little like garden snail. We're gonna get rid of the text. We don't need that anymore. We're going to lower the saturation. Get rid of that blue. Then we're gonna push the chicken crocodile back a little bit. Give him a little bit of room to breathe. Beautiful. It's not the most beautiful composition, this, but it is a page of hybrid animals. So So I want to clean up and put this on its own layer real quick so I can lower the opacity. We're going to do some inks of these. Make them a little bit nicer before I head out for the evening. I think the arms are cute. Yeah, I like the arms too. Let's do some quick inking on all these folks. And then we can do colors and details and other fixes at the top of next stream when I'll just do oops all hybrids. I think that'll be fun. So get thinking if you have any animal hybrids you would love to see next week. I'm taking any suggestions you throw at me. I can't promise they'll be good because I've struggled with that chicken crocodile for a hot minute before I finally got something that worked. That was a doozy, but I'll do my best. I'll do what I can. Yippee! And if I like it, maybe I'll do 2 streams back to back. Because listen, I just did 2 finished pieces, or close to, with the Moo Moo Meadows. And I've been doing a lot of request streams, so we'll switch it up. We'll do a couple hybrid streams. They're fun. They get the creative juices flowing. It's fun to have to think of how these different animals could merge together in real time. Oh, look at how cute his little face is. And we're gonna make these a little bit chunkier with nice rounded edges. Like so. Make a list of hybrid ideas. We can do a wheel thing with the request. Oh, that'd be fun. I could figure out that spin the wheel thing that I never used. That I have a graphic of for spin the wheel to sabotage me. That I've never done, but I could try to figure that out. If nothing else, I'll just do like random list picker like I do for requests. But if I can figure out a wheel, I think that would be fun. I don't think it was that difficult to set up last time, so. Or there's like the browser tab wheels that people do for like Sims builds and stuff. I could do one of those. That'd be easy enough. So yeah, if you have any favorite animals, let me know. They'll go on the wheel. Or think on it for next week, whatever you'd like to see next week. We'll make this one in the back a little bit longer because I feel like it got a little too short. There we go. Gonna make a list and then show it off next week. Cool. Cool. Alright, we inked that one. I want to do a quick, I don't know, pass of color just to show what I mean about the translucency. We're just gonna do a really obnoxious color. This is not gonna be the final color. But I want to show what I have in mind for the, like, the see-throughiness of it. Oh, that's a terrible color. I'm so sorry. We're gonna make it a little bit easier on the eyes. Okay, that's better. It's not great, but... So, like, I'm thinking, obviously lower the opacity of that, and then within it, there's, like, you know, whatever the organs or meat of the actual body would be a little bit darker like that. So it gives it kind of this translucent look. And then the color of the background would show a little bit through to give it kind of a see-through kind of vibe. Something like that, you know. It'll be prettier than that, but just to give an impression of what I'm talking about. Alright. The snail jellyfish is so cute. Thank you. I'm so glad you like it. I'm happy with him too. His little face. He's so cute. So I'm just like wordlessly tracing these animals now. Get a nice stout penguin body on this. meant to be a cat-rabbit hybrid. This is meant to be a cat rockhopper penguin hybrid, which would be easier to tell if the eyebrows were colored in yellow, but I'll make it more obvious with a quick color pass of bright yellow. And the cat will probably be dark gray or blackish, you know? But let's do some rockhopper penguin eyebrows on a Persian cat. I like the grumpy look. Grumpy old man cat. Penguin. Yeah, a cat-rabbit hybrid would be cute, though. Maybe on the list for next week's stream. I'm excited I finished that Donkey Kong piece. I just realized. I just remembered I actually finished a piece today. That's nice. I'll have something to post tomorrow, and by tomorrow I mean when I remember. Meaning in time for next week's stream. You know how it goes with me. Let's do circle there for a nice little highlight. Okay, that's okay. It's not perfect, but we'll roll with it. Lower the opacity of this as well a little bit. Okay. Let's do the crocodile chicken hybrid. This one actually came out okay because I think I fiddled with it so much that I like got a practice run in before I got like the good one in. You know, had a little bit of a warm-up session with the failures. So this one turned out okay. It just needed a little finessing. I like the shape of the mouth. I'm happy with that. The scale work is something to be dealt with next week, but I want this to be generally where the feathers start popping up around here. And then the whole rest of this body shape is going to be all feathers. There we go. Listen, these little details in the tail, that's next week's problem too. I'm trying to ink all these real quick before I find something to eat for the evening. You made 2 plushies that are animal hybrids. They are a rabbit, llama, iguana, and duck. Aw, cute. I like that. A rabbit and llama is a really cute combo. I'd be curious to see those. Clean up the edge of the nails a little bit. And put a little bit of scaliness on the legs. Just give it a little bit of a crocodile feel. And a nice fat chicken wing. Or 2. And whatever this is called on the chicken. There's a name for this. I'm ashamed for not knowing. But the red stuff that's on the chicken. And then we'll do moose dog. Moose puppy. Iguana and duck if you couldn't read. The duck was a platypus, but let's make our lives easier. Yeah, platypus is already a hybrid in and of itself, isn't it? It doesn't need to be hybridized any further, does it? It's already a mix of like 5 different animals in one on its own. It's kind of a chunky looking foot, but we're rolling with it. That's fine. Like I said, you just gotta make decisions and stick to them. We're sticking to these paws. Are they perfect? No. But they work. They're big and floppy looking, and they match the silliness of the moose, so it'll do. I'll have that come up here. Moose Dog. It's the little known cat dog spinoff. Moose Dog. He's wagging his tail. Got his tongue sticking out. He's a happy dog. Happy moose dog. Oh, comb. That's what it's called. The chicken. The part on the chicken. The comb. Thank you. I knew it had a name. Make a little bit smaller brush for that. Sorry if my glasses scraping the mic made a noise. I never know what does and doesn't pick up on the mic. It's pretty good about not picking up stuff I don't want it to, but last thing I want to do is ruin someone's chill listening experience with a scraping sound or something. And these antlers, I guess, would be right around here where they go on the head. Yeah. Oh, but I want the ear to overlap though. Well, whatever. We're gonna have it placed back here, but then okay, this connects to the head here. It's a little silly, it's a little off, but that's alright. They both kind of fit together. Like so. Not bad, not bad. And then last but not least, our little otter mouse that is 95% mouse, 5% otter. But I like him anyway. It all started with a very rough smile sketch, and I just thought he looked so cute. With his little famous Amos cookie. With some chips. His little hands. His little grabbers. Nice big gumdrop body shape. Like so. Nice little tail. I'm talking like Bob Ross. Happy little tree. Happy little tail. Happy little feet. I guess I could do like otter feet at the bottom, but it feels unnecessary. I like him just the way he is. Not all hybrids have to be a 50-50 split. Some can be 95% one thing and 5% another, and that's okay. He just has a little touch of otter in him. And that's all she wrote on that. Alright, and with that, here's an email list. Oh, email list. A small, why did I read email? Small list. Rabbit plus llama, iguana plus duck, meant to be a platypus. Snake plus mouse, tortoise plus frog, bee and spider. Oh, bee and spider would be cool. I like that idea. Tortoise and frog. Ooh. Excuse me, I like that too. Alright, well I'm gonna put the full group on the screen here. Take a little sip of my water. We'll do a quick recap of everything I've achieved on this stream. This is a pretty productive 2 hours. Yeah, we can do all this next. We're gonna do a full animal hybrid stream next week. That's the plan, because this is a lot of fun. I'd like to devote a whole 2 hours to it. So here we have our cat rockhopper penguin. We have our snail jellyfish, our chicken crocodile, our moose dog and our otter mouse hybrids. And we also did the cow. Moo Meadows cow is done. The background needs some work, but that's something for me to do in my own time and finish it up. Maybe at the top of like the 10 minutes starting the next stream, I'll do the last finishing touches. That way I can put this in the thumbnail. You know? It's been a fire 2 hours. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Make a wheel, yeah. And then of course Donkey Kong. I finished Donkey Kong and I think he looks great. So yeah, this is a really productive 2-hour stream. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I will see you all this time next Friday night. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see